Hello everybody, Curious Corduroy here, and today I have some amazing Spider-Man gameplay. I don't know what happened to my voice just there. I think I hit puberty right as I was starting to do this commentary. But I'm having a lot of fun so far with this game. As you can see right here, there's actually this kind of cool little Twitter-esque kind of feed in the game. Just, with random thoughts that, some people would probably say in New York as all this crazy crap is happening and Spider-Man's flying around trying to fight all these big robots and bad guys. But what you guys are going to see now is actually quite early, I would say, in the game. It's probably one of the first big missions you actually do, and you're fighting Rhino. The fight itself is pretty straightforward, pretty standard. Distract him as much as you can, get him to run into a certain object, and then pummel him. So, it's got a pattern. He's a boss pattern. But the game itself is actually a ton of fun to play. The combat is very, very much like the Batman Arkham games. So if you played Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, you'll feel comfortable for the most part with the combat. It's just not as smooth and fluid, and it's not as responsive as the Arkham games are. But you'll see that Spider-Man's spider sense kind of goes off kind of like Batman's does in the Arkham games. Square, or I believe in this case on Xbox it would be X, is your attack button. You can jump, and triangle, and well, it'd be Y on Xbox is going to be your counter button, so it lets Spider-Man jump out of the way. And in future videos I do for Spider-Man, you'll see that a lot more. When you get surrounded by big groups of enemies, it does become very Batman-esque. But like I said, just not as fluid. But still a ton of fun to play. Right here, I'm not quite sure what happened. I got extremely lucky by activating the QuickTime event. Otherwise, that SWAT van would have rammed me and probably killed me. But as you can see right here, it's the basic premise of dodge and then attack him. But the fight itself is pretty cool when you are able to finally dodge Rhino. Like right here, it kind of goes Matrix-esque, and you get this really cool kind of acrobatic maneuver that Spider-Man will pull off. But one of the things I did want to talk about in the video was actually the movie, The Amazing Spider-Man, starring Andrew Garfield. The movie itself, it was pretty solid. It kind of felt just a little bit rushed. Just a little bit rushed after watching it. I didn't want to judge it right as I watched it. I kind of wanted to let everything sink in before I finally really judged it. And I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was solid, not the best. If I'm comparing it to the original Spider-Man, I would probably take the Toby Parker one over this one. It's not a bad movie by any standards. If you go online on imdb.com, there's quite a lot of people that are bashing the film that just really didn't like it. And before I end the video, one of the things that Beanox got right for this game, which a lot of people really couldn't replicate, and they themselves couldn't replicate in the previous games, but one of the things they got extremely right is the web slinging. Swinging around New York is just so much fun, and you can just even see right here. You have the ability to zoom from spot to spot, which can make the game a lot of fun. But actually swinging itself, there's just so much momentum that you feel as Spider-Man is just flying across these buildings and jumping, and you're jumping at his peak point. So the swinging is perfect. It's a lot of fun, and that's one of the reasons to play the game. I could spend just hours swinging around New York. That part they did really well on. But as far as the movie, I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. Some parts did feel rushed. Some of the character relationships, like between Peter and his Uncle Ben and Aunt May, felt kind of forced. And now that I think about it, everybody's relationship felt kind of forced. There's moments where well, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but big stuff happens and other people just kind of accept what Peter says or what Peter does without kind of really questioning it. And I don't know, you should probably see it for yourself. When it comes to stuff like this, I like to always say that the only person that you can really trust with the review is yourself, because there's always going to be tons of stuff that you might like that other people don't. There's a ton of stuff I like that other people don't, so you have to see the movie yourself. But it is a pretty good, solid movie. Not the best movie. I think if they spent just a little bit more time on the story and the plot and the writing, I think they probably could have had a home run with the film. But it's still enjoyable to watch. A lot of cool action scenes. The CGI was pretty good. But other than that, I wouldn't rush out to see it in theaters. You could probably wait till it comes out on DVD. But the movie that I am super, super excited for is coming out in just a few days, and that's The Dark Knight Rises. So I can't wait to see that. I'll most likely have some kind of video related to the movie as well as Batman. Maybe I'll get some Arkham City footage to talk about it. But that itself is the Amazing Spider-Man, and more footage is to come, and I will see you guys later. I am Curious Corduroy. Talk to you guys later.